everyone, and welcome to languagecaster.com, the football language podcast for learners and teachers of English. I'm Damien, and I'm here in a sunny but very cold London. Happy Lunar New Year to all our listeners around the world, and apologies for no podcast from me for the past couple of weeks. It's been a little busy here at work. Now, I'm also one half of the LanguageCaster team with, of course, the other member, Damon, based in Japan. And hopefully you got a chance to listen to Damon's recent podcast on the football phrase, a sighter, which was really interesting, despite coming from the defeat of my favourite team, Tottenham, in the North London derby. Now, remember that you can access all of our other football language podcasts. We have hundreds of them stretching back to October 2006 by coming along to our site here at languagecaster.com.
State ascoltando languagecaster.com.
Now, on today's short podcast, I will be looking at some of the language that emerged from a huge story that has come out from Serie A in Italy. One of the most famous Italian sides, Juventus, have been penalised by the Italian authorities over false accounting, which means that there are questions to be answered about some of their transfer fees. Here are some of the words that we'll be looking at. Number 1, to deduct or deduction. Number 2, to be docked. And number 3, to penalise, to be penalised. Okay, let's start with the phrase points deduction. Deduction is the noun form of the verb to deduct, which means to take something away from someone or something. So in this example, Juventus have had 15 points taken away from their league total. They have received a 15-point deduction. They have had 15 points deducted from their total. Interestingly, the prosecution asked for a 9-point deduction, but the actual punishment was 15 points, a 15-point deduction that leaves Juventus in mid-table, almost 25 points from the leaders. To be docked. Juventus docked 15 points in Serie A by Italian Federation for false accounting. This was the headline in the Guardian newspaper about this story from Italy. They didn't use the verb deduct, but instead used docked, which is another way of saying that the team had points taken away. And this word also has the connotation or feeling that there is a punishment involved. Juventus were punished by the Italian football authorities, the Federation, and lost 15 points. They were docked 15 points. Unlike deduct and deduction, we do not use the noun form docking, so we wouldn't say a 15-point docking, for example. To be penalised. We all know what a penalty is in football, and the verb to penalise is often used to describe when a referee awards a free kick or shows a card to a player for foul play. The player was penalised for a bad tackle, for example. But a club can also be penalised, and in this example, Juventus have been penalised or punished for their financial irregularities. They were penalised 15 points, or we could say that they received a 15-point penalty or a 15-point deduction. Now, on our site here at LanguageCaster, we have a huge football language glossary, and so here are a couple of more phrases linked to this topic of points deduction that you can find in our glossary. So the first one is financial fair play. The second one is to ban or to be banned. And the last one refers to the Italian league, Serie A.
Esteu escoltant languagecaster.com.
If you have any questions or comments, then drop us an email at admin@languagecaster.com. And you can also look out for us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We also have a football language forum where you can ask and answer any questions you have on the language of football. Recently, we have had some questions on the word to clear and also the phrase labour on the ball. Go along to the forum, have a look at some of the responses.
Tá tú ag éisteacht le languagecaster.com.
Yes, you are listening to Languagecaster, and that message was from an Irish fan. Don't forget there's a transcript for this short podcast, and there's lots of vocabulary support. We explain lots of the meanings of these words in the transcript, which you can access by coming along to our site. Okay, that's it for this short explanation of the term points deduction, which of course means that a team loses points from their total because of issues away from the pitch. We also looked at the phrase to be penalised and to be docked points. And of course, all of these phrases are related to Juventus and their current financial troubles. Enjoy all the football this week, and hopefully your team is not docked any points. We'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.